Perfect.
Set.
Yeah, that's good. You're right in frame, clear, beautiful.
Running.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I set up a couple new videos since then. Got a couple new subscribers, and looks like I'm getting a lot of positive feedback, along with the questions, concerns, and unclosable people that are commenting in the sections, which is good. I mean, this is good. This is practice essentially for when these people are in front of you. So, as I said, as I do my private lessons too, I'm running into people that they want to butt heads naturally with the customer. And this video, I want to talk about the brand close, okay? So it kind of seems at odds, and it's hard to overcome if you're not trained and if you're not properly armed with the right objections to overcome. It's essentially not much different than what I've been talking about, but you just have to have the confidence to handle it. And this objection in this video is it's why I'm buying a Toyota. It's why I'm buying a Honda. It's why I'm buying a Volvo. It's why I'm buying a Nissan. And if you're selling Hyundais, I mean, listen, it comes with a 10-year, but actually it's probably more of a segue into why you should wrap it for 10 years, because shit, you're going to need it. Because why do you think Hyundai's warranted it for 10 years? So it's actually, you could probably lean on that leverage to upsell that a lot easier. And it's like, well, why do you think Hyundai, warrants the 10-year for the powertrain? Because the world needs it. But in any event, with all joking aside, when somebody comes into your office, this objection usually goes something like, well, I've bought 10 Toyotas and I've never used it, I've never bought these things, or, hey, why do you think I'm buying a Toyota? They're very kind of cute, sarcastic little, they think that's just the end-all be-all, and hey, I don't need to worry about that. So again, as usual, so I'm going to take a little time before I get into what you say, and the way to overcome this is not so much what you say, but more how you say it and how you're going to get people to listen to it. Because if you go with this objection like cocky, like every other finance manager that just gave up after they said that, or just tried to discount and give it away, or otherwise just sell it for no profit right away, and then they still didn't sell it, you're going to get the same result, which is you're not going to sell it, and the people are still not going to be converted, which is what 9 out of 10 finance managers do to these people when they run into them. They say that objection, and then they go, well, what if I did this? What if I did that? And the worst thing you could ever do is lead somebody to a no. And here's an example of that. So even if I did this, Mr. Customer, you still wouldn't buy it? No. Duh. Well, you just led them to no. So even if I did this, you wouldn't. So if you do that, if you find yourself ever saying or about to say, so even if I did this, or even if I sold it for free, you wouldn't, or even if I did it for $10, again, it's not, you're saying the same thing. So if you ever want to rephrase that, you want to lead them to a yes. So the way that goes is, if you're discounting or giving it away, sir, you know what? I'm gonna move around some monies here. I'm gonna really hook you up with a special deal. All right. So, listen, if I did it for like even $15 more a month, and I stretched out the term, then you'd have to do it, right? See, you're leading them to the answer you want, which is a yes. Okay, it's called a lead. Attorneys do it all the time in much more sophisticated ways. But you never, ever, ever want to lead to a no. Okay, you always want to lead. So. Look, if I did this for you today, and only today, I mean, I have to move some monies around. It's never going to be as cheap as it is today. For only $15 extra a month, you could have the the bronze contract. All right, then you'd have to do it, right? Right. Okay. This is after many, many, many objections. That by this point, it's just a battle of who's willing to who wants it more at that point. And some people are like that. Let's just face it. Probably going to get a lot of criticism from people, but at the end of the day, it's who wants it more. Sometimes people, like, you know what I mean? It's a game. It's a challenge. It's chess. Who wants it more? Who's willing to give up first? Is it going to be you, or is it going to be them? And at that point, listen, man, I don't care. Some people are going to earn it. That's fine. But if you believe in what you're doing and what you're selling, then it's worth it. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've never had people walk out of my office before because I'm trying to protect them from their own bad decisions. And that's just really, I mean, listen, I mean, if you don't buy a warranty, it's a bad decision. I firmly believe that. So getting back to the main close, which is, okay, well, I buy Toyotas. This is why I'm buying a Toyota. Okay, you know, calmly sit back. You know what, sir? Again, emotional deposits. We've talked about this. All right, so I understand that. Listen, I could see if I were you, I'd be saying the same exact thing. As a matter of fact, most of my customers think the same exact thing too. However, there's 4,000 parts in this car. Let's just say if this car was 99.99% effective over the course of 10 years, would you say that's pretty good? Yeah, I'd say that's great. Okay, well, your car has about 4,000 parts. At 99.99% efficiency, that still leaves 4 parts. My average warranty claims about $2,200. That would still mean you're shelling out about $8,000. That's if you had 4. Let's cut that in half. Let's say it's 99.995. That's 2. You're still making out. It's probably $4,500. This is only costing you about $3,000. So you're still to the better. You still have the peace of mind. You still have the roadside assistance, and you still have the rental car. Key emphasis on this. You make your point, and you put out what I call hangers. And I purposely bring up the rental car and the roadside assistance hanger because I want them to play with them cards I dealt them, okay? The cards that I just dealt is, yes, please tell me about how your insurance company is going to provide you a rental car. Yes, please tell me you have AAA already. I want you to tell me that. I'm almost hoping you tell me that. Why? So when I tell you, yes, sir, again, listen, I agree with you. You provide great insurance. But your insurance company will not give you a rental car for mechanical defects while you're sitting out here in my showroom, miserable, pissed off with 5 or 6 other people that might not have bought the warranty or just have an older car, and you just want to get out of here. You would probably spend $200 a month not to be sitting here waiting for your car. You would probably be kicking yourself then, because I see people waiting in my showroom and they don't look very happy most of the time. Not because it's anything I do, but who the hell wants to sit in a showroom waiting for a car to get serviced? Nobody. So for only $30 a month, $40 a month, you could have this coverage, never have to worry about waiting in a showroom. You have the premium coverage, you have the premium service, and the best part is it's covered again. You don't have to worry about it if something else happens. So doesn't that make sense? Then you close on a rental, which is a very minor part of the service contract, but the bottom line is people want better service. So if you're selling premium service, sell them the fact that their insurance company is not going to cover it. Don't let them get away with, yeah, well, my insurance company probably provides me a rental. Don't let them get away with that, because it's not true. Their insurance company's not going to provide them with the rental if there's a check engine light on in their car. Why would you let them get away with that? You shouldn't. The insurance company's not going to do it. That's a goddamn feature of the service contract. You get a rental car for 7 days. Roadside assistance. Oh, I have AAA. Okay, and listen, let me ask you a question. AAA, they don't tow on highways, most interstates, number one. Number two, what do you pay for that a year? $50, $60 a year, right? Or $100 a year? And all they did was tow your car. And they might not even tow on interstate highways. Doesn't it make sense to have the better premium coverage? And also, it's going to fix your car? And it's a little more expensive, but still, it's going to cover parts, labor, diagnostics, towing, and a rental car on top of everything else. Then this is usually when you might have to discount, or they might morph to another close, which is, oh, I'd rather self-insure. I don't know if I've already talked about this, but that's fine. The bottom line is, you want to start with a question too, okay? If they use this is why I'm buying a Toyota, probably understand, sir. If I were you, I'd be thinking the same thing. By the way, how often do you buy your cars? Every 3 or 4 years. Where are you going with that then? You might not go right into the 99.9% close. You might take it right back into the, well, even if you never use this, it's paying for itself close, because why are you trading it in every 4 years? Wouldn't you rather spend $40,000 every 8, 9, or 10 years? If all this does is save you 30 grand every 4 years, make you spend 30, 40, 50 grand every 8 or 9 years rather than every 3 or 4 years, over the course of a lifetime, wouldn't you say that would be a sound investment? It absolutely would be. I agree. That's why here, just put your signature right here, sign on the bronze contract. Bang. It's right. It's all about asking questions, and then you play the cards. But you have to ask the right questions. Don't just jump right into, oh, give it away. Oh, okay. So even if I did this, you still wouldn't do it? You know what I mean? You cannot get, I've talked to a lot of finance managers who are starting, and they get defensive with people. You got to turn away from that. You just got to be calm and cool. You got to be the cool guy, because you will never get anybody that to willingly say yes. And now, granted, if they keep going back and forth with you, that's fine. Don't get defensive. Listen, as long as they're talking, as long as they're engaging, that's good. This is a good thing. As long as they're giving you an objection, be glad, be happy about that, because they're talking. And the more they talk, the more the better chance you have of finding that opportunity. So that's all. And always close, hammer down too. That's another thing. As I train finance managers privately, they make their point, and then they don't ask for the sale. After you make a solid point, Brendan, give me that objection.
This is why I buy Toyotas. It's a good product.
Okay, Brendan. Well, let me ask you a question. How was it your last Toyota that you got?
I had it for 10 years. Not one thing ever went wrong with it.
Oh, it's 10 years. So, all right, great. You brought up a great point. But guess what? There's still a way to go. 10 years. So that would be. That would mean it's 2020. So you bought a 2010. What did you have? A Camry, right?
Camry, yeah.
So do you have an LE?
Mm-hmm. I think it's an LE.
So okay, guys. So common sense. How much more sophisticated is a Camry 2020 Camry than a 2010? The thing has cameras. It senses. It has blind spot monitors. It has so many things that. Geez, could you imagine? Again, that's when you go right into. Well, listen. Even if your car's not broken, doesn't mean you still don't have a repair. Brendan, listen, I get you had a 2010, but listen, this thing actually sees people. So even if your car's not broken, that doesn't mean that this still won't fix your car. Well, what do you mean by that? Well,
Yeah.
sorry, you bought a car, this is a 2020, it actually sees people. It has more cameras, more computers, more things that Toyota makes, yes, but yeah, you can still drive your car without the backup camera working. You can still drive your car with the blind spot monitor beeping in your ear, maybe not working or having a malfunction. But guess what? My average warranty repair is $2,500. See how it's like clockwork? See how they all kind of revolve around the same things, but it's all about where the customer takes it. You have to listen to the customer. Now, this customer had a 10-year-old Toyota. Right away, you might be thinking, oh, shit, man, I'm not going to be able to sell a guy who had a 10-year-old Toyota, never had a claim. Bullshit. You're goddamn right you're going to be able to sell that guy. You're goddamn right. And then you might even take it a step further. Well, listen, did you ever buy one before? Yeah, I did, but I never used it. Where do you take that? Well, sir, actually, yes, you did use it, because you kept the car for 10 years instead of 3 or 4 that you would keep it, that you probably would have kept it if you didn't have it. You see how many different ways? It just depends on where he takes it. So, back to the Toyota. You know, I buy a Toyota. You know what I mean? So, all right, so Brendan, so you're telling me, so doesn't that make sense? So, okay, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack a little bit. I kind of got carried away there. So, all right, so give that objection to me again.
So, just the 3 years is fine. Toyota makes a fantastic product. It's why I'm buying Toyota in the first place. It's a major reason why I chose Toyota.
All right, listen, man, I agree with you. I sell Toyotas for a reason. All right, I get it. All right. Did the salesperson go over all the features with you? It's a very sophisticated car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So listen, I mean, let me tell you why. You owe it to yourself to reconsider this, because this has a lot more sophisticated products like radar, sensors. It actually sees people, backup cameras, tire pressure sensors, blind spot monitors. I mean, if these things malfunction, sorry, your car might not even be broken, but I can assure you, you won't want to drive this car with one of them sensors going wrong. And guess what? Them sensors, just like your cell phone, just like this pad, they don't replace the 10-cent pen. They replace the whole $1,000 part, plus labor's $130 an hour. So, with that being said, at least you owe it to yourself to at least consider this bronze contract. And that's this way you're covered for 10 more years, and this way you don't even have to think about it. If you have 1 claim, no claims, 20 claims. Even if you have no claims, it's paid itself off in dividends, because you don't even have to think about it. and all the sophisticated products. So which contract works best for you? The bronze at 60 or the bronze at 72? See how after you make your point, don't just let it sit up there, okay? Don't let it sit up there like a volleyball player that doesn't spike the ball. The other player's got to spike the ball, okay? You spiking the ball is which bronze contract works for you, 60 or 72 months? Or else did you just want to pay that cash money up front and keep your payment the same? You have to put the question on the customer so that they can make the decision. You cannot just leave the point up there. Unless they talk back first, that's fine. If they talk back before you can ask to close, that means, guess what? They're engaging, okay? So don't panic when you hear this is why I'm buying this brand close. Just go about your normal questioning and stay positive, stay calm, and do not go right into discounting. You don't have to. You may have to, and I'll get to that, but you don't absolutely have to. All you have to do is not be like the other 5 or 6 finance managers that were weak beforehand and just let them get away with the stupid excuses that they're always used to giving, that they used to get away with. All you have to do is listen, stay calm, and throw out the hangers, the rental car, the roadside assistance, and hopefully they grab onto one of those, and then as soon as you say, sir, well, okay, that won't cover mechanical defects. This will pay for rental for up to 7 days, as well as cover parts, labor, and diagnostics for up to 10 years, 120,000 miles. So do you want 60 or 72 months on the bronze contract? Bang. Throw the cards out there, guys. Play with the cards that you deal. All right, learn how to incorporate that into something. Float the objections that you want to hear. Make them overcome the objections that you come up with. Guess what? You already know the answers. If they attach themselves to an objection that you came up with, you better know the answer to it. Again, this is what lawyers do. Lawyers don't ask somebody a question that they don't know the answer to. So I'm kind of getting into a more sophisticated, eloquent type of closing, but they're professionals. Most lawyers, I mean, whether you like them or hate them, they know what they're doing. You're back here, you're making 150, 200 grand a year, you're a professional at this point in the game. So this is how you get there. You have to start thinking, it's chess. It's chess. So start playing chess, all right? Until next time, by the way, I do private lessons.